Welcome to another Explore Everyday video. We're on another Aurora chase. It's August 30th. Spent the day at the Minnesota State Fair. Was checking data, saw it was good, and here I am out in western Wisconsin again. Just stopped at kind of one of my close to home spots to check for Aurora, and sure enough it's out. So I took a shot I've been meaning to get. There's some train tracks here with the cross symbols up here, so I'm just grabbing a still here quick, giving a quick intro. I'm gonna go off to the lake that I can shoot at with a dock. No pillars right now, we just have the green arc with some pick above it. Let's see what we can find tonight. Another Aurora chase here in western Wisconsin. All right, we made it to our lake. It's been a little while since I've been here. Last time I was here in winter. We got the dock out here. It's pretty, the water is really high. It's flooded almost up onto the dock. So right now the Aurora, it's just the Aurora arc, the green arc with some pinks above it. Have no pillars yet tonight. It's a little after 11, maybe 11:15. So we'll just kind of hang out. It's a beautiful night, late summer here, August 30th. I have another composition I can do up over that way, kind of through some woods, so I'll take a couple shots there. And overall, just kind of play around down here. Just quiet Aurora, nice warm clear night, the bugs aren't bad. So I'm gonna play with some different compositions, and if anything turns out, I'll show you the shot I just took right now. All right, here's the other angle away from the dock, looking down the lake to the north. Just glassy out here tonight, which is awesome. So getting good reflections. Not a lot of room to work with here, and I got to keep all my lights off because so much light just leaks into my other shop. I have a time lapse running right now over the dock. For about a minute, the Aurora got a little more active. I thought we were maybe heading into a substorm. It's kind of backed off now, but this is a tighter shot. So I've got my 24 to 70 out now. I'll probably shoot at 24. I'm going to carefully try to get down closer to the lake here. It's a little rocky and rigid, but just to get nice down close to the water and see what kind of composition I can get here. So maybe we'll see me fall here. Alright, I'm actually going to go with a nice low composition just to play with the water while I'm here. But before I do that, I haven't focused this lens yet, and I got the Big Dipper right in front of me here. So let me get a focus on this lens. And the best way to focus in the dark is to use the live view. Find a bright star, focus in on it, and make that star as small as possible, and that will give you great focus for astrophotography. If you don't have a star, or it's hard to focus on a star, you can find a light off on the horizon, a house light, a radio tower, anything with a light that is steady that you can also focus on. So I'm gonna grab a star here out of the Big Dipper quick. I got live view on. And sometimes before you even go to live view, it's easier to try to get a star squared up and focused before you get to it. Because if you're not focused, sometimes it can be hard to even see a star in live view. The other thing you can do, if you can't find a star, and I'm actually struggling right now, so I'm probably gonna move, is if you kind of know your depth of field, your focal length, and you're focusing to infinity, one thing you can do, especially if you're shooting wide angle, you probably only need to be 10 or 15 feet or yards away. You can just put a light like on your reflector of your vehicle, get back 20 yards and focus on that, and that should give you focus to infinity as well. But I don't want to turn any lights on. So there is a brighter star around a tree here. I'm going to go focus on that real quick, and I'll be right back here to set this shot up. Alright, I'm back. It took a little more difficulty than I thought it would be to focus, but there's a star or planet. I haven't looked to see if it's Jupiter or Saturn or what it is over there, but I got focus now, so I'm going to lower my tripod, go down this little embankment again, and see if I can't get a nice low shot with reflection of the aurora in the lake as well as the stars. So let me try to get down here again without falling. Doing this in flip-flops. Now to see if I can get my tripod level. Alright, so I got my shot down here. It's a little precarious. I'm not sure if I'm going to time lapse or not because there's not pillars. It's not obviously dancing. I know it's moving. I might just do a real quick exposure sequence over here. Alright, so for this time lapse, I'm going to shoot at 5 seconds at f2.8 at ISO 3200. I'll set my intervals at 6 seconds, and I can go through quite a few shots pretty quickly here. So I'm going to set that up, and then I'll just be able to sit here and relax. Alright, one last comment. When I set a time lapse, so I'm shooting at 5 seconds with intervals at 6 seconds, I always stick around to make sure it fires, especially when you get into longer time lapses. If you're shooting at 15 or 20 seconds for, say, the Milky Way, you might need a 2-second gap in the shots for the camera to collect the data, or the SD card to collect the data. But just shooting at 5 seconds, 6 seconds is perfect. It's just going to be continuous shooting. So I got this camera shooting up the lake here, and it really narrows to where the Aurora is. And I have my other camera running, shooting over the dock. So 2 cameras running, doing all the work for me. I can play around with the Sony I'm recording on now. Otherwise, I can just sit back and enjoy the night sky. The night continues. Not a lot of change in the Aurora. Occasionally you'll get a bit of a pillar to kind of spike up on one side. Data is just really staying the same. BZ kind of right around -7, which is good. Solar wind isn't extremely fast. It's 400 or below. It's just after midnight. I'm not sure how much longer I'll stay out. I don't want to blow tomorrow staying out for just some average Aurora. Obviously it could take off at any time. It's unpredictable. Look at this action behind me. I was driving home, took one last look at the data before I got too far west into the light pollution, and I saw the BZ was shooting really sharp north in about 15-20 minutes. And I've noticed when it does that, we usually get a big spike in activity. I don't know if it's a substorm or what it is, but I've had this pattern figured out like 4 or 5 times now, so to me that's a thing. We got full Aurora over the whole sky. I've only got 4% left on my Sony battery here, so this is maybe my second wrap up. I wrapped up back at the lake, but I had to pull over the first side road I could get to. I got my 14mm out for the first time tonight, so I'm trying to get a time lapse running with that down there before the BZ flips and this totally ends. It's going on 2, I'm not going to get home until after 2 now. But man, look at this. Another just great Aurora display filling up the entire sky from the west to the east and everything in between to the north. Just phenomenal. A great way to end this Labor Day weekend Friday night. It's now Saturday. Gonna be tired tomorrow. Promised my oldest Emma that we go agate hunting in the morning, so get a few hours sleep and go see if we can find some agates. But I'm gonna finish watching this Aurora show here tonight. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.